Hello there. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We've got another testimony to mince through, so let's just get right into it.
Hold it!
So does that mean you went to people's houses in order to empty their gas meters? That I do. I try to catch people when they're in. Then I ask permission to come inside and do my business. Does that mean you've been into Mr. Natsume's room before, as well as that of Mr. Shakespeare? Well now, interesting you should bring that up, because I couldn't believe how little money was in his meter. I mean, how a pair of them survive the winter is beyond me. It really is. Mr. Natsume, he probably spends all his gas money on books. Yeah, that does sound like him. He's definitely a book-loving guy. And then, when he's finished reading them, he probably burns them for warmth. Yeah, that's being frugal for you. You'll kindly reiterate your statement about the gas meters themselves, Mr. Meterman. Not much to say, really, but as you wish. Altamont gas meters accept through-penny bets, each coin giving customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas.
Hold it!
I never heard gas described as gorgeous. So all London houses that have a gas supply are filled with these gas meters, are they? So it would seem. Oh, that's the latest model. The height of technology. Developed by our company, Altamont Gas. And anyone who uses our gas will have one of these meters in their property, yes. So if a 3-pence coin gives 2 hours of gas, most people would use about 3 coins in a night. A bit more than that, usually. If they have both gas lights, and a gas stove, that is. Thinking about it, Suzaki-san doesn't have a fireplace in that room of his, does he? Some people still choose to use candles, of course, and only have gas for heating. Ah, yes, I do remember seeing candles in Mr. Natsume's room, actually. And how does the money in the meter get back to you at the gas company? Every few days, gasmen like me visit properties on the gas supply and empty the meters of coins. I must say, the design and manufacture of the new meter cost the company an awful lot of money. But happily, it did put a stop to people not paying their dues, for the most part. Ah, because they had to pay in advance, you mean? Yes, exactly right. And yet, the meter in Mr. Shampoo's room didn't have a single coin in it.
Hold it!
Out of interest, how long has this been going on? Weeks and weeks! He's been fetching gas off us for ages. And, you've examined the meter in Mr. Shampoo's room, I take it? Naturally. We took it off the wall and went over it with a fine-tooth comb. And found nothing suspicious at all, I presume. No, I'm afraid we didn't. Which is exactly why I demanded a new type of meter to be produced. One with an indestructible lock. The Shakespeare Special. That sounds like it would have cost an awful lot of 3-penny pieces. But even after all that, the rascal's meter was still empty. I'll never forget the humiliation. When I opened up the money box and found it. God, I don't like that. That fucking animation of his eyes bugs me out. When I opened up the music money box and found it bare. You what? I said? You what? And the look on his face. That smarmy smile of his. Ugh. I pulled the meter straight off the wall and took it back to the office. Okay, I understand you're upset, but there's no reason to choke yourself out. But you know what? Nothing. Not a trace of it being jimmied open anywhere. Not a single fucking sign. Okay, again, you don't need to strangle yourself, my guy. It's not that serious. It's just fucking gas. And what's happened to my salary as a result? Down by 3 shillings a day, that's what. Okay, maybe it is a big deal then. At least to you. A life-threatening situation in a number of ways. Incidentally, what became of that meter? Nothing became of it. I've still got it. Oh. Right here. No wonder they call you Meterman. You literally have a meter. I think it would be prudent for the court to suppress this item while the trial is ongoing. Hey, at least we have, we have the gas meter now, so we can actually examine it ourselves. It sports a very strong lock, developed especially with Mr. Shanspeter in mind. Definitely. Although at first glance, there doesn't appear to be anything unusual about it. Let's move this along, shall we? Continue with your testimony. I would say it has as much value as the contents of that meter. Oof. The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collection agent has the only key.
Hold it!
There's only one key for all of your meters? Well, in truth, there's another key in the company vault at our main office. But even if someone had somehow managed to get hold of a key, we'd know if the coin box had been opened. Oh? How? I came up with a rather clever way to expose any little shenanigans, as it happens. Would you care to explain? Well now, in order to empty a meter, you have to unlock the padlock and remove the cover. But when I close the cover again, I stick a little beeswax seal on it, you see? A seal? Like the sort of thing you put on an envelope, you mean? Something like that, yeah. Basically, you can't remove the cover again without breaking the seal. Now, in the case of Mr. Shanspere's meter, there were no coins inside at all, as I said. But the seal hadn't been broken either. So that would mean Mr. Shanspere somehow managed to steal coins from inside the meter without opening it. Damn, you look pretty fucking, perplexed, Ryunosuke. Don't look at me for the answers, I don't know shit. It would seem so, but that would be impossible. Somehow he's using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny. If that's not thieving, then what the fuck is?
Hold it!
How do you know that he's been using gas, though? Well now, since I started investigating this bloke, I've been to his room more than a few times. And on every single occasion, his lamps been blazing and his stove pounding. It's the middle of winter, and he still turns to me, sweat dripping down his cheeks, and says, "Get thee..." well, he's saying it. "Get thee to a nunnery." Hamlet indeed. Gah, I can wring the bloke's neck. I get all hot under the collar, but still, every time I open up that flaming meter, it's empty. He's robbing me and my salary too. What's wrong with the world? Where's the justice? That's how it be in this bitch of a world. But how can Mr. Shanspere possibly be stealing the money? I don't understand. The simple explanation is right before your eyes. Care to elaborate? What? A toast to you eventually realizing that the gas man could be an accomplice. You what? Good Lord. Eminently plausible indeed. Damn, don't get the fucking gas man in trouble. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? Oh, please, Lady Quimby, I'm a faithful worker. Besides, if the money those gas men collected entirely that which gas has been used, you doc are paid by the same amount. So you'd be stealing money only to have the same amount taken from your wages. Clearly that makes no sense. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, getting your salary cut, it's not very helpful. Perhaps it's a case of losing the battle to win the war. No, no, no. I'm not going to stir up that hornet's nest. If I went stealing from the company, I'd be finished. It would seem there is no evidence to support the claims of thievery made against the victim, because Mr. William Shakespeare is innocent. Pray, forgive me if that shatters some illusion my learned Nipponese friend was clearly under. Ugh. I certainly didn't expect to uncover another crime that looks like it's been taking place in the very same room. According to the testimony, it's only the meter in Mr. Shakespeare's room that's under suspicion. It does seem as though perhaps it has nothing to do with the incident involving Mr. Natsume. I know. It does seem that way. The fact is, since I've been practicing law in England, I feel like I've encountered this at least once already. Cases that are interlinked. Oh? It might seem that two cases have nothing to do with one another at first, but in fact, they're intimately connected. Yes, we have experienced that before, haven't we? I wonder if this is another instance. Perhaps, but we can't be sure of that yet. If the Altamont Gas Company has been investigating Mr. Shakespeare so earnestly, there must be something to it. But then how has he been managing to steal that gas? Well, now I think it's time to investigate that meter personally. That's a very sturdy-looking padlock, isn't it? And the money box is sealed with beeswax, too. So if Mr. Schultz were to get up any mischief, he'd be found out immediately. Mr. Naruhodo, mischief of that kind is not the sort of thing that Mr. Schultz would, You know you didn't finish that sentence, don't you? Well, anyway, it's understandable that the gas company would want to safeguard the money that's rightfully theirs. But it does feel a little bit tough, perhaps, doesn't it? Let's see, what else can I examine? Let's see. Oh! What's... Have you spotted something, Mr. Naruhodo? Just here. There's a little hole. Do you see? Goodness, you're right. I wouldn't have noticed. Huh, it's not a very neat hole, is it? Not professionally made, I'd say. So, you think it might have been opened up by Mr. Shakespeare? Possibly. It seems the people at Altamont Gas must have missed it. Which seems kind of weird, considering they were... Like, wasn't Meterman... He had the gas meter on his person. Or he kept it with him. Tell me, when they were looking it over, they didn't notice the fucking hole at the bottom? Well, it certainly seems to go all the way through to the inside. Yes, but there's no way a coin can fit through here. That's true. But even so, it seems more than a little suspicious. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty strange. Like, I know it's a small hole, but I still feel like the gas company should have noticed that, perhaps. Okay, well, thankfully we know it's pretty obvious what to present here now.
Objection!
Lady Altamont, I'm afraid to say that this meter clearly does show signs of having been tampered with. What? Get away! I've been over and over that thing. Well, clearly your fucking yellow eyes can't see for shit. If you can't notice a fucking hole. I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with it. In that case, what do you have to say about the small hole that's been made at the base of the coin box? Hole? What? You're right. You're quite right. There is a little hole there. The meters aren't supposed to have that. None of the others do. In other words, we can assume that Mr. Shamsmith secretly opened up this hole himself. Yes, I wouldn't be at all surprised. But why? Yeah, why? I mean, it's tiny. You couldn't get a fathom through that. Lady Altamont, I wonder if you could give the court some more details about your meter design. Oh, what sort of details? Well, what I'd specifically like to know is, I don't know, how is dismantled? How can the meter be dismantled? Dismantled? Yes. Given that there are no signs of it having been forced, I'm wondering if perhaps rather than being broken open, it might have been taken apart. Well, yes, that does make some sense. The padlocks are made by a first-class locksmith with the finest quality steel, and the meter box itself is made from plate steel as well, welded shut to ensure it can't be opened again. I can assure you it's quite impossible to dismantle it. Woohoo! Yeah, nothing leaks from an Altamont meter. No coins, no gas, nothing. I see. The witness will amend her formal testimony with that information in case it is pertinent. As you wish, my lord. All joints on the meter are welded shut. The lock is made from solid steel. There's no way to dismantle it.
Hold it!
Okay, maybe that was the wrong way to go. Has anyone ever tried? Oh yeah, they tried. But they've all given up before long. After all, if they actually broke the meter, the company would be able to take legal action. Yes, that makes sense. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Is this welded steel construction significant? Or perhaps there's some other aspect of the meter's construction that we should be focusing on? Yes, you may be right. Perhaps I should try a different tack here. Like asking about how the meter differentiates coins, for example. Yeah, let's ask about that. How does the meter tell the difference between different coins? What do you mean? Well, for example, if someone were to put in a 1-penny coin, that wouldn't work, presumably, would it? No, of course not. So, well, how does the meter know that the coin it's been fed is a through-penny bit? Aha, I see what you're getting at now. The meter tells coins apart by their shape and size, which includes their thickness. A through-penny bit is about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, you see. Other coins just won't fit. Ah, I see. It's clearly been very well thought out. Okay, the witness will amend her formal testimony. Yeah. The meter is designed for coins the exact diameter and thickness of a through-penny bit. Nothing else will fit. You know what I just realized? I've not fucking examined, the evidence that the evidence that we acquired earlier, I don't think. Like, or we got yesterday, rather. Maybe that's kind of a problem. Maybe I should, rectify that. Oh, no, that's just soap. What is this? Oh? Look at this bar of soap. There's a cellular depression on this side. About 2 centimeters across. Or 3/4 of an inch. Ah, do you think? We did find the soap at the scene, didn't we? Yes. Yes, there were 2 bars on that little ledge just outside the window. So we took this one. But I'm sure that when we first found it, there was some sort of reddish medallion in the middle there. I remember it clearly. Yes, but there's no sign of it now. Where could it have gone? Yeah, where the fuck did it go? I mean, we took the soap with us, didn't we? Huh. Let's look at these teacups real quick. This must be the cup that Mr. Shansby was drinking from then. It's stained on the inside. Tea does that, I'm afraid. Even green tea. Oh, really? Well, I've never noticed before. You've never noticed? Well, I never leave it in the cup long enough to leave a mark. I like to gulp it down. Drink tea while it's hot. That's the Japanese way, isn't it? Oh dear. So many people seem to have the wrong idea about our culture, and most of them are Japanese. Then there's his. This is a teacup from which Mr. Natsume is drinking. Yes. Unlike the other one, the inside of the cup is completely clean. I suppose he must have drunk the contents before the tea had a chance to leave a mark. I always gulp it down too. Sorry, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, if you just sip it little by little, it goes cold. Clearly, I've tried to instruct you in the proper way to take tea. There's no tea ring on the inside of Mr. Natsume's cup. Huh. Okay, maybe that does confirm that that Shakespeare did in fact take a long time to drink his fucking tea. And what about this? Whoever opened this envelope didn't bother with a letter opener or scissors, did they? Yes, whoever opened it was clearly someone with an unrefined temperament. And, judging from the angle of the rib here, the person in question must have been right-handed. Wait, what? Mrs. Otto? I think perhaps someone's been reading too much of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. You can never read too much of it, Mr. Naruhodo. Fucking never. Yeah, clearly someone likes their fucking, Sherlock Holmes. Okay, I'm gonna try and throw this, present some soap. See where that gets us, maybe?
Objection!
That can't just be a coincidence, after all. Excuse me, would you take a look at this soap, please? Trust me, it's very relevant to the situation that we find ourselves in. Let me just confirm something here. The diameter and thickness would be to be correct. The meter would accept any object as if it were a threepenny bit. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Well, by something of a coincidence, while we were investigating in Mr. Shansby's room, we found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly. Something the same size as a threepenny bit. What was it? Well, the item in question is this. What? Have you been inhaling gas? That's a bar of soap. That certainly looks nothing like a threepenny bit, I must say. It looks like I'm going to have to point out exactly what I mean here. What's so important about the soap is this part here. This part, which again, I don't know, like, where could the thing have gone? Because, like, it's been in our pot, it's been with us the whole time, hasn't it?
Got it!
Got it! I've got the fucking thing! You have to turn over the soap to see what I mean. Ah! Are you referring to that round depression in the middle of the soap there? Oh, that's right. A depression that's approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Or in other words, almost exactly the same size as a threepenny bit. Get away! Does anywhere present have in their possession a threepenny bit? Quickly now, pound over your coins, ladies and gentlemen. Sounds rather like a highway robbery, doesn't it? Yeah, out of context it does at least. We need some fucking bits. Back to a kind member of the public in the gallery, I have here a threepenny bit. Now, let's see if it fits. Oh my, what? It couldn't be more snug. Yes, as I suspected, this, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain how the Altamont Gas Company is being defrauded. Oh damn, the music just kicked in something fierce. Well, I don't believe it. So, your assertion amounts to what? That some inferior bar of soap has a tentative connection to the theft of gas? Yes, exactly. The depression in the soap was clearly made by a threepenny bit. I must concur, at least, that putting a coin with some force into a poor quality bar of soap such as this is a remarkably simple way of replicating the coin's shape. And then you could use, well, some melted wax or something to pour into the mold. You can make fake coins in no time. Oh, fuck. It's pretty clever. This brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. It's a method Mr. Shansberry is using to steal the gas. That's the missing link. Although I don't see what this has to do with him being poisoned. I don't quite see the connection just yet, but, you know. And now, if I follow the chain of thought, it's going to bring me to a new explanation for what happened that nobody's considered yet. But this is all nonsense. If the man had been making fake coins, my worker here would have found them when he emptied the meter. Quite true, Lady Altamont. In the absence of some black magic that could make them disappear. I see. That's what we're dealing with, is it? There is one form of black magic that could cause the fake coins to disappear into thin air. Yes. Exactly. And the meter here gives it away. What on earth? There are remnants of the magical method used visible on the gas meter taken from the victim's room. Well, I'm glad your assertion, Counsel. The report will identify these remnants for the court at once. Where on the meter can the remnants of the method used to make the fake coins disappear be seen? Well, I have an idea. If these are like fake coins that were made out of like wax or whatever, then you could just melt them, right? Like you could melt them with a candle, or maybe, I don't know. You could like melt the coins from the inside, and then like the drippings or whatever would come out the this little hole here, which also and that would explain why there was like a leak at the end when he like in the photo. I thought it was like a gas leak or something, but if that was like the wax or whatever, then well, that would explain that, wouldn't it? curious indeed. But, still, I don't know how much further this trial is going to go, or is there going to be enough testimony or what, or how long that might take. So I think I'm going to save the presenting part here, and leave things off for now. You know, because it's not, you know, it's nice to leave off on cliffhanger-y moments, I think. Well, then again, fuck it. You know what? Let's just go for it.
Got it!
I can go a few more minutes. We found this bar of soap at the scene of the crime, just outside the victim's window. Outside? Yes, outside. Where you yourself, Mr. Meterman, were loitering in the freezing winter air. That's where we found the soap. Ah, I get it. Also, yeah, man, how come you didn't check the fucking soap, my dude? Isn't your whole job to examine shit and just figure out what he was doing? You didn't think to check the soap? That's right. The answer, of course, is ice. Wait, ice? What? Did you say ice? Mr. Shansbury has been leaving soaps like this outside his window each evening, filled with water. After a night outside in the bitter cold, the water is completely frozen solid the next morning. Then he takes his fake coins of ice and feeds them. Oh, fuck it. Here I am, not paying attention to who's speaking. Then he takes his fake coins of ice and feeds them into the gas meter, giving him light and warmth in spades. As his room becomes very comfortably warm, the ice now inside the meter's coin box melts. Oh, okay. Well, I was like 80% right. I thought it was like wax or something, and it was melting because it was hot. But you know, ice makes sense too. Plus, it's probably cheaper because you know water is still you know, if you can't afford water, then you really are in a bad way. But yeah, either way, the ice it melts. The fake coins melt, and it drops through the hole in the bottom of the chute. And that's why there was like a stain of stuff. Turning back into water, and draining harmlessly away through the small hole made in the underside of the meter. That is how, without leaving any evidence of his wrongdoing, this man has been stealing Altamont gas. Okay, well, you know, gas theft aside, that's a pretty clever scheme, so, I feel like he deserves a little bit of respect for that. Like, that's a pretty clever scheme, you have to admit. Just like that. So simply. Is he trying to make us look like idiots? He's been fooling us all with some pots of soap and some water. That's right, madam. I don't believe it. It can't be true. Do you have an idea how much money we spent to develop that new meter? And now you have the audacity to suggest that a bit of soap and some water can render it totally useless. I'm fairly sure I didn't design it. And don't get mad at me. Fucking get mad at Shanspeare. He's a gas thief. Evidence! Sorry? I want evidence. If you're going to stand there and tell me our meters are rubbish, I want to see proof. She's very good at enforcing accountability, isn't she? Oh, don't cry, Susato. It's okay. Very well, Lady Altamont. If you'd like evidence, I'll provide it. What? Mr. Naruhodo, are you saying you do actually have evidence to support this theory? I did notice a trace of something that bothered me a little at the time. And I have a feeling that this theory we've come up with now could explain it. A piece of evidence that substantiates the theory about Mr. Shansbury has been stealing his gas is... Okay, good. Now I think I can leave things off. This feels like a better place. Plus I can actually save, so yeah. Okay. Also, I know the answer to this too. Which is good. I feel relatively big brain for once in these games. Because like, there's been a lot of points where I've just been kind of like, not really following along or not really knowing what to do right away. But I've been piecing things together pretty well so far, so that's nice. But anyway, we will continue this episode and see how far this trial goes in the next episode. Until then, though, I will see you around.